Tonight on DFI Magic Themes, we'll be talking about long tail keywords. Tonight on DFI Magic Themes, we'll be talking about long tail Well, good evening to you. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Good to see you all here. First in the room tonight with Barry, followed by Richard, followed by Don, followed by Sarah, followed by Stefan. I know others will get in as we go along on tonight's DFI Magic Themes. We'll get going very, very shortly. I hope you had a good week. It's been a mad one for me, I tell you that. Well, hello everyone. Robert disappears as always. If by magic he'll reappear in a minute.
It's so weird.
He's invisible. He's back. Hey!
I don't get it. It's on, it's off, it's on, it's off.
It's your magic disappearing trick. You have to do it every week, Robert, now. You see,
I just want special attention. That's all it is.
Had a good week, mate?
What week? I think it was only a day.
Oh, I tell you what. It's bizarre, isn't it? Because it only feels like yesterday we did this last week. You know, it's the weeks are just blurring by at the moment, which, you know, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing as you get older, that it goes a lot quicker. But I've had a busy week.
I know you have. You've been all over the universe this week.
I have. Updates for people with the call center software. The SMS plugin is nearly there. The dev is doing some final tweaks on it, and hopefully within the next few days I should have a beta version to test out, and then we can get that in your members area as soon as possible. And then after he's done that, he's then going to start on adding extra features to the call center itself. And it's looking some of the ideas we got are very, very exciting. So making good progress with that. Is there anything else we need to update them on at the minute that you think of, Robert? If not, we'll talk about what we're going to talk about.
Well, as always, if we're taking action and moving forward, we're learning. If we're sitting back and waiting for things to happen without effort, we're just going to keep sitting back and waiting.
Yeah.
That makes sense? So that's kind of what brought the idea of the topic for tonight, because as things change, we have to stay with the changes. So as we moved forward in rank math in learning the importance of the main keyword per page or main keyword per post, make it the most valuable, relevant keyword that you can for what you're trying to rank for. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight.
Do you think, Robert, long tail keywords are easier to rank for compared to short tail keywords?
I think for sure that they are. And then also turn that long tail keyword into a buyer intent keyword.
Yeah.
Because that's uh, but if you came to me, Stephen, and you said, I have a local business and I want to be on page one
Hmm.
in Google, right? And a lot of SEO companies do that. They promise to put you on page one, but they never tell you what they're going to put you on page one for. They
No.
tell you that you'll be on page one.
Yep.
And if your company is ABC Painting and Contracting in Wellington, I can get you on page one for your company name because there's no competition for it. But they don't tell them that. They just say, well, go Google search your company name and you'll come up on page one. But at the end of the day, is it important to be on Google for your company name? Somewhat, because that's your business card, that's your business listing. Just like any of us, is it important that our agency pop up for our local area for, website design or website builders or whatever the keywords that we're going after? And of course it is. However, the people that search online are usually not searching for a company name. They're searching for a service in an area. And those are the buyer intent keywords that we need to focus on. So building your sites according to what people are looking for, that's what becomes important. And I know you use the term all the time, Stephen, low-hanging fruit. But why would you not? Why would you want to go against the highest competition keywords? Yeah, they might have a gazillion searches a month, but if you can't rank for it because there's so much competition, nothing's going to happen unless you're sure that you can rank for that keyword. So when you play cards, you want to stack the deck. You want to stack the deck in favor so that you can win. And it's the same thing with online marketing. Stack the deck for your keywords. Make them long tail, make them important, make them buyer intent, and make them work to the best advantage that you can to create the whole site to be important for those keywords. So if you want to rank for a particular niche in a particular area, you better make sure you have pages with the important keywords that are being searched, that are buyer intent, and are we're probably going to get into it later more, but also the most relevant to Google, because Google will tell you what important keywords are related to the keyword that you want to rank for if you just ask Google in a certain way.
It's interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier on today about internet marketing. He went off and bought a course with somebody who, this particular person he bought the course from, they are a big internet marketer, but they've just gone and changed course in what they're doing. And they admitted on a call to him that a lot of the times you follow the training and it doesn't work, right? Now, I was explaining to him that affiliate marketing is not hard to do. It's only if you make it hard, like anything. Like what we do, if you don't focus on what you're doing in rank and rent, build a site, get it online, and then rent the site out, and then worry about sort of pushing up the search engines. That's what we always talk about. Keep it simple, build, rent, rank. Now, in affiliate marketing terms, it's a case of you build a product or you're promoting someone's product. You need traffic. Well, the easiest platforms to get traffic at the moment, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and if you are consistent with what you are doing on those platforms, so you're regularly putting videos up, he was saying to me, I don't want to be on camera. That's fine. Pictory or one of those products. Get a product that you can record what you're talking about and just bung a video up. It's taking action. We've proved time and time again, put a video up for a local plumber and get them to find it. We know Barry in the groups put videos up and had his own customers reach out to him and go, oh, I had a phone call and someone told me about this video and I found out it's you. And it's that sort of thing that is taking action with anything you do. If rank and rent isn't your cup of tea, focus on something that's going to be your cup of tea. If it is, then really, focus on what you're doing. I've got a whiteboard up here with a ton of jobs on it. Robert gives me some, and my dev, and all sorts. But I prioritize them. I always go, top to bottom, left to right. I go down. I work on those things on that board in that order for a reason. Otherwise, I end up really disorganized, and you end up going off like a tree on different branches. And you start a project, you go, I'm going to start on this thing here. Actually, I now want to go and do that. Now I want to go and do this. I'm going to watch I'm going to watch a 1 hour training video that someone sent me online because I don't really want to do work. And, and as time goes on, you eventually realize that the things you should have got done, you didn't. And then you have to do them anyway. And when you finally done them, you start making money. And that's the thing with any keywords. That there's video products online that can easily rank long tail keywords. And I'm not saying don't use them. I'm saying use them, and then also use these to push up your other pages. So do a link on your page to a short tail keyword, which will help boost it up. It's all about, like I said, buyer intent. Think in your mind, if I was searching for a plumber, what would I search for?
Exactly. Go right there. And I was just going to say that, because if you don't know what to search for, right? But you know what the outcome is. You want something fixed. You want something purchased. You want something in a certain area to be done. Those are becoming important. So make a list yourself of, like, brainstorming. What is it that's important? And I come back to the bleeding neck problems, because I think those are always the most relevant buyer intent keywords, because it doesn't matter cost, although buyer intent does focus on cost. They like affordable, they like cheap, they like best, they like all these other adjectives that come into the mind of the buying cycle. Review, review a product or review a service. All of those things come into play, and make that list and keep making it. Have a spreadsheet, have it so that you make pages. Because this is what's important now with us, is for Rank Math, is you make a page based on a keyword. And, again, is it work? Yes, you got to do something. We're going to be the first ones not to tell you all you have to do is push a button and it's done. We're going to be the first ones to tell you got to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick on Lori, because Lori went out there and she worked, right? In a couple of weeks, she went from, I don't know. Well, why don't you come on the call, Lori, if you don't mind?
Went from page 8.
Oh, you were on page 8? Okay. I couldn't remember. And
what's it on now?
A few pages are on 2. A few are hitting page 1.
And the thing is, and we say this all along, with your niche website, right? Keep doing citations, right? So go out and find directory sites you can get yours on. Make sure if you've got a social media page set up, go in there and schedule posts out to go, even if it's one a week for the next 3 months. Right? It doesn't take long to use ChatGPT to help you write a post, paste it in there, and then schedule it inside of Facebook to go out over this time with a link back to your site. It's the same, with Twitter. There's a few things you want to be regularly doing on there to, like, if a new product comes out, post it on social media and do a link back to it. But ultimately, it's down to just getting yourself onto directory sites, any sort of places you can think of to get those decent backlinks. You don't need tons of backlinks. I've proved it time and time again. I ranked a site on 25 backlinks in the local area. So you don't need a huge amount, but it has to be local business sites you can get yourself onto, social media sites, and then once you got them, you do a link back, you do a page maybe with all those links on. That's what we've got in the bottom or in the header somewhere on some of the sites. the little links back to social media. YouTube, upload a video once. You only have to upload a video once a week if you want to be super lazy. All right. It's about regular content. We do these lives regularly, right? And occasionally we'll take a holiday break and we're not on, and then we're back. But we do them regularly because you guys know when we're going to be here. So pick a good time in your mind that you think, well, you know, when I get up in the morning, what sort of time, if I was looking for a plumber, I mean, in the case of a plumber, you probably look for him 24/7 because you might get a leaky pipe.
And that's, you said that, but that's a perfect long tail keyword because that's a bleeding neck problem. It's it's an emotional problem, right, for the family, because let's face it, if there's a clogged toilet or a clogged shower, it affects the whole family. So one more than the other because there's a smell involved, right? Usually. But if there's a clogged toilet,
Speak for yourself.
I don't care what the cost is. I need this guy here ASAP.
Yeah.
Because not only is it affecting the whole household, but it's usually one person getting getting screamed at to why the guy isn't here yet. You know, because that's usually the trash, the husband's job to take care of the toilets and the drains and
the missus is ringing the neighbour's doorbell. Can you use your loo, please? I bought some sugar.
But that's a long tail keyword. 24-hour emergency service plumbers, toilet repair, 24/7, whatever. There's so many of those types of keywords that's buyer intent. Why is it buyer intent? Because it's a bleeding neck problem. It's not. The next buyer intent keyword would be most affordable plumber for toilet repair, right? That's buyer intent because they're looking for about a price, or most reviewed or highest reviewed plumbers for emergency toilet services. The longer the keyword, it doesn't have to always make sense because, how do I say this to be politically correct? Everybody searching the internet doesn't think the way that Lori does. Everybody on the internet doesn't search the way Steven searches, right? Everybody's different. So do they type, well, Lori might, I know I don't, grammatically correct sentences when I'm asking Google to tell me about the closest plumber or the best place to go buy a widget, right? Most people search quickly abbreviated, right? So if they want a widget, they're going to put widget, area, or zip code or something, and that's all they look for. It doesn't make sense, but that's how they search. We can't always make sense out of how people search, but we can direct them by putting long tail keywords with buyer intent adjectives in there: cost, price, affordable, best. There's a list. If you go to Google, ask ChatGPT, and get these long tail keywords. Now, the secret sauce comes in when you break them down. And that's why I asked Lori, because that's what Lori did. She broke longer tail keywords, made them longer with buyer intent, and then added her main keywords with that. And that's what she's ranking for on page 1, is some of the buyer intent keywords with her keyword. So what's happening is Google is recognizing her site to become closer and closer to that short keyword. Like if you want your site to rank for something that's difficult, that's competitive, best plumber, right, is a short keyword. But best plumber in Wellington with the best price, that's a longer keyword. You want to keep things together that you're getting multiple searches, and eventually you start ranking for more and more competitive terms. And that's why, Lori is not in a simple niche. It is competitive. She did choose some pretty good keywords to go after, but they are still competitive. And not only did the site start to rank, after she paid attention to the content and paid attention to the blog post and paid attention to the some of the extra pages that would help the entire unity of the entire site pages come together. Not only did it help the site start ranking, but when I was first looking, her GMB was not in the 3-pack, but now it is for the longer tail keywords. That makes a difference because, you know, we can speculate all day long what we think Google is going to do, but the algorithm is like AI. It's always changing, it's always learning, and it's always, you can't put a finger on exactly what's going to happen. But as Stephen has said for 2 years or more now, content is king. Give Google what they want. Do the citations. Do the basic work. If you do the basic work, you get an outcome that's favorable and that you want.
I agree with you on that, Robert.
I
want to share something on my screen as well in a moment. Let's let that come up. I did a quick search for used cars in Bristol in the UK, right? And I want to whiz down because I want to show you what other people are searching for. Google gives you the answers here. This is other things that people are searching for. These are your long tail keywords to use and buyer intent keywords to use. Create a page. If you created a page, cars for sale, Bristol under 3,000, and then you put a whole load of cars on there under 3,000, your page will eventually come up. So you build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. Pages can all look the same. Doesn't matter, right? The point of the matter is that you're creating the title in the page is labeled as that, the content's labeled as that. You've got images labeled as well in the alt tags, and all of that has all been done, all based on these extra keywords. And then, of course, if we click on that one there and we come down, guess what? Google's going to give me some more.
Exactly.
So if you click through these, you can keep getting these. And that's the exciting thing with this is you can do all your research. People sell all these online tools and stuff. Most of your research you can do in Google. And don't forget Bing as well. Get yourself in Bing. You know, they're the two major players at the moment in search engine land. You know, and YouTube's a search engine in its own right, and so's TikTok. So, you know, you can create a video and share it across different platforms. Canva, which rightfully Don mentioned, you know, does a good job of making presentations and also videos. So you can create a video in Canva on the right size you want, and also not only that, you can shrink it down to the horizontal version. So you got your TikTok version and you got your not your wide version, you know, and you can just say to Canva, resize this please. It resizes it for you, then export it as an MP4. Bam, you got 2 versions, you know.
So just because I like to see her smile, we're going to pick on Lori a little bit. And what did you see? What did you? Because I know you're in this. You talk all the time like you're brand new, but you've been at this now for a while, and I know that you're no longer dipping a toe in every once in a while checking a temperature. You put your whole foot in, and maybe the whole leg. I don't know, but you're always out there looking at these different things that are happening. But you built your site, you put content on it. Now you're adding pages. Now you're adding posts, and you see how it works. Is it as complicated as you used to think that it would or would be?
No, because I looked at it just step by step, you know, baby steps. And as I took those steps, I learned more from what you guys have in the training. And the questions that I was confused about or I got stuck is when I reached out in a support ticket and you guys helped me. And when you get on a video with me, you share a lot more information that just makes me want to learn more. I mean, because there's so much more that I don't know, but it's just a, you know, step at a time.
Well, that's perfectly well said. And you'll never know it all. That's That's the internet. There is no chance in hell that any of us will ever know it all, because it's changing faster with AI and all the other things than we can stay with it, right? And that's where the community and the inner circle is wonderful, because we have different people in different places putting their fingers on different things and getting knowledge that we all share together, which helps us all. But yeah, this is crazy how fast it changes. And at the end of the day, I was talking to, I don't remember who it was the other day. It used to be that we had a social communication with our neighbors. We used to ask for reviews from people like our neighbors and friends. That is no longer the point. We don't do that anymore, even though that we know we can go say hi to the neighbor and say, hey, what auto mechanic did you just use? We don't do that anymore. We go right online, we Google it, and we say, what's the reviews and how many ratings does this guy have? How many ratings does that guy have? And that's all that matters. So the proof, even the car dealers are looking at, my son was looking at cars, so I went with him, and he was looking at things about, and they were saying that we won't use your face in social media. We won't do this, mention you in social media. And I was like, holy, I don't remember that the last time I bought a car. That they had a disclaimer about what they were going to do or not do in social media.
No,
So,
there used to be newspapers in your day.
I don't think they had newspapers yet. I think they were still doing signal flags.
With the man walking in front.
One if by land and two if by sea, right? But yeah, this is where we are, and we all have to keep up with that. So doing the basics, staying fresh, and Stephen, you have been exemplary. I can't even say the word right away. You have been exceeding everybody's expectations and how much stuff that you've been putting out there on a daily, weekly basis.
And it's getting exciting. And Laurie, would you like to learn an extra secret sauce on how I do my keyword research?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, people who are watching the free groups, we're going to have to find out another time, because I'm going to play this and then I'm going to share it. Bye, free groups.
Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Some of the groups are still in. One stream made this a lot slower for me to say goodnight to people. They can listen to us waffle for a moment or two while I hit some stop buttons.
I like waffles.
Yeah, do you?
Sure.
Was it made by Birdseye?
No.
In the UK, we have Birdseye. We do. There's a company
we make
called
them
Birdseye.
from scratch here.
Do you? And we have them frozen.
That's not a real waffle.
Right, let's just check. That's still on. We're still in the. Let me just check. Did I turn the wrong one? No, we're still in the inner circle mentoring group, and all the others are off. So I can now come back. That's better. I must have a word with one stream. It used to be a lot. You could just go bam, 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 and good night, and they changed it all. So I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. We'll work that out in time.
So
anyway,
as we push forward, Laurie, you're doing things more manual, and that's perfect. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you're seeing what you need to do to make it work. And as we can push forward, and as we can put more tools behind this, that's where we keep heading our attention to. And they are getting done. The call center is there. It's usable. The video ranker system is there. It's usable. And all of those things matter. So as you keep doing this, and you have the things in place, it becomes easier and easier to rank your sites. And I don't even think your site is 3 months old, 4 months old. I don't know. The newest one you built.
Oh, the newest one, yeah, just probably 3.
So that's spot on, because 3
Mhm.
months is 90 days is where Google kind of, they don't rush to try to put you on page 1 anymore. They if you have things too well written, they'll sandbox the site until it has enough age to say it's worthy of being put up to the top of page 1. And you're, like I said before, you're in a competitive niche. You have other sites that have been out there a long time. They have that authority of age and wisdom, so to speak, in
Mhm.
Google's eyes, and that's what you're going up against. But kudos, because you're getting there, and you're, as the traffic starts to come in, we there's more to do. Long story short, because I have a feeling you're missing some settings in rank math, and I haven't had a chance to go back myself and look with you on that, but I don't think you put in all of the in the beginning of rank math, they ask you to connect to the Google console. I think you did that, but they also ask you to put a bunch of other things in there, like Bing and Microsoft, and there's a few others that I don't think you did. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was something I wanted to look at next time we get a chance to do that.
Okay, because I haven't.
Okay, so it's in rank.
Those, yeah.
It's in rank math settings, and that's going to help propel you to put you into Microsoft Bing, and I think, I can't remember what the other one was. It's another search engine, maybe Yahoo. But all of those that you can get filled in will help, because you can rank in the other search engines as well as Google. And what I've seen is you'll rank in Google for a keyword, but you won't rank in Bing or Yahoo for the same keyword. But you'll rank for other keywords in Bing and Yahoo that you don't rank in Google. And I think they're all playing the game of different keywords for different reasons, maybe for their ads. But why not take traffic from all 3 of them, especially in that niche?
I agree.
So kudos to you. Thanks you for taking action and taking the time to be put on the spot. But this is growth. It's growth for everybody to see, hey, I got a problem. Can somebody help me? And then boom, I take action. I do this, and now I'm on page 1 for long tail keywords. Now, what's the big deal about the long tail keywords? You gonna explain that, Steve?
In a moment, I wanted to show, I was playing around with long tail keywords this week in ChatGPT. Now, those that don't have the paid version, I do, you can still use GPT 3.5, but this version here, GPT-4, has plugins. And when you click on plugins here, I've installed web requests and a web pilot, and I tick both of these, and this goes off onto the internet. So now I can type in here, buyer intent keywords indicated a used readiness or intent for used car sales. So this is something ChatGPT gave me earlier, and I just put the word used car sales in it, and we're going to type that in there, and we'll let it go off, and it'll take a moment or two while it searches the net and gives us a bit of information back. If it already knows it, it'll come back fairly quickly. So,
and you can still do this in the free version, and you can still do this without ChatGPT, just asking Google. But you have to understand that if long tail keywords should be a version of the main keyword that you want to go after in your content of your page, your post, whatever you're doing, your video, and then put other words around it. If you're doing used cars, you want to have affordable used cars, or the best affordable used cars. It doesn't always sound correct on how people search, but I'm telling you, they're looking for price, they're looking for cost, they're looking for best discount, they're looking for highest reviews. It's amazing that when people get close to wanting to pull the trigger and actually spend money, that's when they're going to go after price. That's when they're going to go after the best or the most affordable.
Yeah. If you look here now in ChatGPT, I've just typed in, give me sales content. I typed website wrong, but it's corrected it for me, using affordable used cars for sale. Remember, I've got all these keywords I can use. So I would very quickly create a page or post on my website if I was selling used cars. I'd read through this to make sure it's correct. If I know my dealership name, I would save me going through tons of content. I would simply grab this and I'll type in here, if I can find it, replace for something like that. It'll rewrite it for me in a moment. Scroll up, and straight away it's got my name in there. Or I can replace it for MCB short code. So say replace that for a short code, then I've got an evergreen site on there. And so straight away I can copy this content, whack it into a short code in the MCB, and away we go. If I really want to keep the spaces and stuff like that, then I'd ask it to write it in HTML and paste it in as a text version, or you can paste it on page on your website. But then I would create a page all about affordable used cars for sale, and boom, away I go. So I've then got this content instantly, and while we spent a few minutes, and the bonus is when Google searches your site, it's going to find these keywords: affordable used cars, drive home your dream car today, why choose our affordable used cars, quality assurance. All these words are keywords which it's going to use, and also it's going to read the rest of the sentence. And then you add this into the rank map info, so that it shows up on Google. And what I mean by that is this little box under here is the content that you put inside a rank map, and it shows up here.
It's in the metadata and the titles
Yeah.
of the site or page.
Yeah. So you're going to end up with these keywords. Just creating posts, by the way, if you just went and created a post about affordable used cars and paste that into a post and click OK, Google will index it. It'll eventually find it. And if you're putting regular content up day by day or week by week, you know, if you say I haven't got time, okay, I'll do it once a week on that site. Just once a week, come in, create a post from content from ChatGPT. Obviously, read through it, because sometimes it may not be 100% accurate, and you want to be sure that it's reasonably okay. Paste it in, away you go. If you're really worried about AI, and some people are, I'm not personally, but if I'll just take some pages on a post. But if you're really worried about it, you use sort of a spinner of some sort online. There's some free ones that you can take it in and get it to respin the content. But I personally, I'll just take this and the little cheat I do as well, I'll take and copy this and I'll paste into a blank Google Doc, and then I'll make sure it's saved, and then I'll copy it out of the Google Doc back onto the website, just in case there's any data behind this. Unlikely, but if there was, I do that all the time just to move it over. But you can very quickly create your content and then paste it onto a page. And the long tail keywords are the ones that people, when they're searching for, but buy used cars near me or for all used cars for sale, if that's somewhere in that header line on Google up here, then it's going to show up. And if you manage to find that one keyword that people are searching for on here, so let's do
or a version of it.
Yes,
that's the key of this, is the long tail keyword contains the short tail keywords inside of it. So you got a double whammy in your favor, that Google will see both, and maybe you just rank for the long tail, and eventually you'll rank for the short tail, but you got the same content on the site. It's all written in the meta tags and descriptions.
Yeah. Part exchange your car with Auto Trade. You change that, create a post and go, part exchange your car with SB Cars. You come down a bit lower and you have a look, part exchange my car, part exchange your car, part exchange. So some of these things, part exchange your car with trusted dealers. You can create posts about it and then direct people to the right place. Sell your car, get your best price. These are all your keywords related to your niche. You search for your niche. Google gives you the answers. That's the cool thing about this, is Google gives you the answers, whether it's a short keyword or a long tail keyword. But the long tail keywords are the low hanging fruit, which, and interestingly enough, when I search for used cars, let's type it in again, in Bristol, I went to the video page, and the top one at the moment is May 2006. Now, I think if you could put up a couple of videos a week on YouTube, and that's on their own website, take that and embed it on your site somewhere, eventually your site will overtake these sites because you're giving Google what it loves, content, because content is king.
And it changed the date. It's more current.
Yeah.
But I want to say one more thing, because you glanced over it, but the people that say, I don't have time, or they can't do it but once a week, use your time wisely. Schedule that in for yourself. Like I'd say to Lori, because I know she's a very busy lady, and schedule the time to work on your posts and your page content for 1 day a week for so many hours, whatever you can get done.
Yeah.
And if it's 1 post, 2 posts, 5 posts, 10 posts, if you're using ChatGPT, it whips out that content pretty dang quick. And if you make the contents on let's say you only get so far as making all your titles and what you're going to write your content about, and you ran out of time, okay, then you're done for that week. But when you get to the point that you can have 10 titles ready to go, ask ChatGPT to give you the content, and you create 10 posts. Now you got 10 posts ready. Put them on the site. Don't make them all published. Schedule them. Do 1 or 2 a week and let that go the rest of the month until you can come back and give it content again. Because if you really want to stay ahead with it's not new, but it's just exploded recently. I mean, it's been since the 1950s that AI has been worked on, but now it's in our face. Now it's out of control. So now if we don't use it in our favor, we're the dummies, you know. And I wanted to say too, Michael Sexton, which we haven't heard from Michael in a very long time, but I want to say that he made a valid point. Any keyword that you want to look at, if you put it in quotes in a phrase mode in a Google search, you'll see all the people that are going after that keyword, and you'll see how many search results are for that.
Yeah.
But remember, if you're doing keyword with location, that's your best asset, because a service industry, a widget that you're trying to sell, is usually being sold in a brick and mortar business per se, not an online product. We're not talking about affiliate products, but you can. Everything we're doing is location based. So we're always doing keyword plus location. And that narrows your competition down to a state, a county, a city versus the whole world. And that's all you need to rank for. If you're selling blue widgets that can only be bought in Wellington, Florida, that's your competition. In phrase match, keyword Wellington, Florida. And if there's 10 trillion pages with that keyword, you better think of a better one, because that's a lot of competition. But chances are there won't be that much. So that's what sparked all this, because focus on the long tail with the short tail in it, and then build up the entire site about the short tail, and use all those LSI keywords that Google's telling you is most relevant for the keyword that you're searching for. And you put that in all the pages. It just makes the whole site sound like the keyword you want to rank for. And that's all you're trying to do. You're not disguising it. You're not hiding it. You're not doing anything black hat. You're just giving good, honest content about a topic in an area. And that's it. You become an authority.
Thank you, Laurie. Keep at it.
Thank you, Laurie.
Pop from. I want to bring someone up we haven't spoken to for a while. I hope he doesn't mind, but it's the great and wonderful Michael Saxton. How are you? You can unmute yourself, my friend.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, buddy?
How you doing?
Long time no see.
Yeah, you busy?
Oh, I'm melting out over here in Texas. I don't know about y'all.
I know. Saw a video the asphalt was actually melting.
I just took my eggs outside. I don't have to do it on the stove anymore. Just put it on the sidewalk.
Are you busy with all the bees?
Yeah, I'm winding down my season in the next couple months, and steadily growing my pest control company. Then I got into I created a local business directory I've been working on too. So I've been pretty busy.
That's awesome, mate. It's always good to see you and hear from you, and I hope you get our messages that we sent you over. So but it's all good. We'll have to have a proper catch up one day when you're free. We'll have to do a call with you.
Oh, I'm so far behind. I don't even know where to start.
Outsource it. Yeah, this is it's rather funny that when we told the story time and time again, when we launched DIY Magic Themes originally, the day after we launched, all the themes crashed, the whole lot on Elementor. Right, we had a problem with MPP, we had a problem with Elementor, and we had a choice: refund everybody and start again, option 1, or option 2, do something about it. And I'm always been someone do something about it, however stressed I get, and Robert knew I was quite stressed that day. And so we outsourced it, spent a lot of money outsourcing it, but we had them all converted to Cadence. Never had a problem since with Cadence. It's been really solid and reliable, and it was the best decision we ever made. Then we've seen, I don't know if you're aware, we since then had the Magic Code Builder plugin built to do all the short codes. We use Page Generator Pro as the Magic Location Builder. We've got a call center plugin it's already in the members area that can currently divert phone numbers, and we're having more features added to it as soon as we can. There's working on an SMS plugin, which this is the exciting. Now in the inner circle, I can talk about it. The SMS plugin is going to be, you'll go in, enter your mobile, pick the mobile number from Twilio, and then say, I want to forward the messages to this other number. And when the text message comes in, it says from the number it originally came from, who sent that message, and then the actual message itself. So what that'll mean is if you want to forward text messages to your customers directly, you'll know what number it's coming on. Or even for yourself, Michael, if you've got multiple businesses running with different numbers, that comes in, you'll see the phone number. I know that's my bee control in Texas, for an example. And then the person's phone number is on that message, right? And their message. So you can then grab their number and message them directly from your phone, or the plan is you'll be able to log into your website and send the message as the original number back to the customer, the number on the website. And so there's a lot of development involved with this, and which is why I prefer to release things that are working than to rush things that aren't working. The SMS plugin has taken a little bit longer than we wanted because of some of the features I wanted in it, like being able to text from the website, and the forwarding part's been the fun part. But we found a solution to the problem now, and our devs they've been working with Twilio directly to get this resolved, because part of the problem was Twilio not able to forward messages, and they've done some work for us amazingly. And so now we are nearly there with it. It's just some final bits and pieces over the next week, and the plan will be then you'll be able to go in, you select the number from Twilio, you type the number you want to forward it to, and you click save, and it's all done for you. Simple as that.
Does it have, that's for SMS, right?
SMS, yeah. And then
I'm gonna step on you there for a second, Stephen, because as what you said is true, but at the same point, we said we were going to develop it. We said that we're going to take the time to make it do certain functions. It was all about ease of use, which we did. And the first version we released actually had way more features than we ever said it would have, because we wanted to make it more functional from the get-go. So we waited a week or two and then released that with the extra features and functions. But it's all about ease of use. We want anybody to come in and be able to divert a phone number from a website directly to a client or customer, so that we know where it came from, what site it came from, how to report, and can tell, like in your case, Michael, you're not doing because you're doing your own calls, but you'll have reports of what calls came from what website and what areas, and you'll know what to focus on. Where do I want more leads from, or where do I want to focus more people at? Where am I getting more of my business from? And that's what becomes important.
What's working and what's not working.
Exactly. So, and it, for us, ease of use, having websites with phone numbers that work instead of 6 months, a year and a half, and I'm still getting my Twilio number because I don't understand Twilio. I don't get this. We don't want that. We want simple ease of use. Put a phone number, Twilio number, and it goes direct to the client. It goes direct to me because I want to know what calls came from what area or what website. It has to be ease of use.
And
So
and interesting enough mentioning that, I've talked to my dev, and what we're thinking with the call routing system, the IVR system, we're planning on actually having a separate plugin that people can install. And the reason behind that is a lot of people just want to be able to go in, enter their phone number, click divert, and they're done. Right, and that add a call whisper to it and a incoming message and answer phone.
Yeah.
So they're the things we're working on with the first build on the rest of the build for the call center part. The SMS plugin will be, as I've described, literally go in, you'll be able to select the Twilio number, the number you want to forward it to, and click done, and it's saved, and that's it. And then eventually after that, we're then going to do an IVR plugin where people can come in and calls can be routed. That's going to take a bit longer to build because there's a lot involved with it. But ultimately that'll be a separate plugin. That way then I always say keep it super simple. And so the idea of the current plugin is it is simple. Go in, number, forward, done. And that's what we want to keep it simple. But it's getting exciting what's being built. And eventually the DFI Magic Themes will be the whole bundle system. You'll be able to come in, you'll be able to build an HC website and also on the basic plan, and also another website of your choice, get it up and running, set your Twilio phone numbers up. And there won't be this side of Christmas because of the amount of work the devs got on. But next year, I want to be able to look at Livio as well as an option for another cool service. We're not going to keep adding loads of services on because the plugin can become unreliable, but we want to add maybe initially one other one and then maybe eventually another one after that. But it's getting good.
I just go say it's been quite a while since we talked to Michael, but it's funny, it's ironic, right? I'm talking about Lori putting in hard work, and I can honestly say Michael is one of those people that work is not a definition to him. Work is just everyday life. He works hard at his business, but when it came down to time to build a website, it wasn't, this is going to take a lot of work. That was not in his mind. It was, I'm going to work at this until I make the friggin' thing work, and it's going to build my business. And I know he worked hard because he went at it like a workaholic. Instead of working 8 hours, he had to put in 25 for every day. And he did that. But when he finished, and I can't even say, because I think if I had it right, you can correct me if I'm wrong, your feet was to the fire. You had to make your business work. And you were doing it, not only websites, you were doing as many things as you could to get the marketing out there about what you did in pest control for an area. But when you got the sites working, I think you got inundated with work. Is that a fair statement?
I got a lot of work. It was, I reaped the benefits of my efforts for sure. I pretty much burned my ships. I've always been taught, burn your ship. I don't have anything to retreat back to. And at the time, I had time restrictions because when the couple people that are on here that I recognized back then is I only had a short amount of time to hit this market because it's a seasonal market for bees. So I had to, and I was already behind because of me trying to figure out a magic plugin when I first purchased it. And I was like, man, I just wasted like 4 or 5 months of my life. I'm still at ground zero. I don't know what I'm going to do. I really believe in this thing, and I believe in this. And that's when I met Robert. So then I just had to run with it. So that's what I ran. It's called SMA, short massive action. I apply that to anything that I do. And I'm not trying to get on my soapbox or anything. It's just I'm one of those guys that I do the work. I don't talk the talk.
You're a
I
20
walk the walk.
percenter. That's what
Yeah.
you are. 80% of people can't be bothered, or they dream about the next dream, or they move on to the next product, or they're running on. You're a 20 percenter. You are someone who went, I need to get this to work. I need to prove it works to my family as well, you know, and I'm going to do it. And I remember when you first joined us, when things started clicking into place for you, you know, that's the one thing I always say in life: people you don't hear from are the ones that are doing really well and doing it and getting there, you know, and really focused. And you took on board what both myself and Robert said. You took action. It's all on your shoulders. You know, we gave you tools to help you, but it's all on your
No,
shoulders
yeah,
what you've done.
you did the work.
You
And
know, now
and
look at
not,
it.
not unlike,
I'm only as good as my mentors.
well, thank you for saying that. But at the end of the day, this is what I want everybody to hear. You have to work. You have to put effort to it. And Stephen and I, including Michael, will say, you know, if you don't work, you're not going to get anything out of this. You have to put the effort in. If you don't understand it, here's what's interesting. The people that run into a roadblock, they either quit or they figure out how to get help. Michael's one of those people. I'm one of those people. Stephen is one of those people. Lori is one of those people. You raise a support ticket, or you find the person that can get you the answer that you need to remove the roadblock, whatever the roadblock is. But you have to take action. You have to be passionate, and there is no there's no quit in you to get this done. It's not if it's going to work, it's when it's going to work. I'm going to be doing this. You know, it's about mindset. It's about putting your feet to the ground and working. And I know Michael is he's probably better at that than I am, because he just don't quit. He just keeps going. And Steven's like that. I used to call Steven the Energizer Bunny, because he just was always doing something, you know. But at the end of the day, take your passion, run with it. And Michael will tell you that, and I can't say what you make or what you don't make, but I will say that Michael, like he said, reaped what he sowed. He worked hard, and then he made money. And I think, was it all website based? No. Did it help to have the websites and have contact? Absolutely. But then once he had the leads, he broke his ass to take care of those customers, do the jobs for them. They left good reviews, and everything snowballed for him. And it's a seasonal business. But Michael, again, and I love this, because you don't think of pest control as being a bleeding neck problem, right? But when you see some of Michael's photos of him going to a house and there's a friggin' bee's nest hanging down from their lamp on their front porch, that's a bleeding neck problem. You know, I can't get in my house because my kids are going to get stung. And, you know, I'm not looking for the most affordable beekeeper when I got a nest on my front door. I'm looking for who can be here the fastest to get this taken care of. And, you know, then if they're calling, how many beekeepers are in your area? I don't know. But if they're calling 15 beekeepers to be there in 15 minutes, one of them's going to show up and get the job. And that'll be Michael every time, because he'll get there.
And that leads into what y'all are talking about, the buyer intent keywords.
Yeah.
So for my keywords, I learned that a while back is I use buyer intent keywords because I like quality to quantity. So like if I have emergency, affordable, you know, ASAP for that particular service, those
24/7.
Nobody's competing for those. Nobody's competing on those.
Because they don't know what they are.
No, exactly.
And you learned that a long time ago. But we have to do things repetitively, because different people hear different things at different times. Mm-hmm. And it really helps when people like yourself jump back in and say, this is what I did, this is what I figured out. And now, you know, you gave encouragement to somebody that may not have had it. Just by
can I say something real quick?
You absolutely.
So and I'm not involved in, in these as much as I used to be, but I always come back because, and not to be all cheesy and stuff, because I'm probably as real as anybody can get. But it's like I really appreciate y'all, you two, because y'all taught me so much and it gave me a spark. So I'm always going to return back to home. So this is kind of like my home, right? So I still learn from y'all, even though I may not be on these calls. I'm always looking at what y'all are doing, and I've seen that you guys have progressed so far from the beginning. I give you kudos on that.
You're gonna make me cry, and I'm gonna have to send you a 20 now.
And it excites us, Michael, because we get a certain number of people who have taken that action. And then you come on calls like this and you go, I've done this, and this, and now my business is successful. And we want as many people to be as successful as they can be. If people are struggling, we also want support tickets to find out, why are you struggling? What is it that's letting you down? Is it a part of our training? Is it something we've missed? We're all human at the end of the day, and we want everyone to do really well, and that's what this is about. That's why we invest. We invest a lot of money in the plugins we're creating and the stuff we're doing to make it easier for people. We haven't done a big launch for a while because we've been working on so much to get to that point when anybody could come in and go, dun, 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 I've got a site built. Now move on to the next site. Dun, 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 I've got another site built. And that's what we want, to help people with. With the other way, the other group, which will not be named, and we've rescued people from that group, hallelujah. It's very much I go in there and I see confusion when questions are asked, or not the right support. Us, if someone's really struggling, we'll even jump on calls with them, and we take time out to help them the best we can to give them that direction. I don't know everything, but I've got people who back me, who are experts in SEO, who are experts in WordPress and all sorts of things. So if I don't know the answer, I can go back to them and ask them those questions. And it's guys like you, Michael, that excite me and give me the passion for what we do to help others, because we see the success in you.
I appreciate that. I'm here to help. Y'all are the only way to be successful is by helping other people be successful, right?
Now we're in the inner circle. I want to ask you, have you changed your name servers?
No.
Right. In the week, will you message me and we'll jump on a call? It's important because we had problems with the other host. Don't mind, it's web host Python who we had a server with, kept going up and down like a bloody yo-yo. So we moved away from them. Yours is the only account that's left on that server. And because they felt so bad, they gave me 6 months free, 2 of which have gone. And I don't want your sites disappearing.
Okay, yeah, I need to do that because
now I've already migrated them over to the other to our DFY hosting. All right, and you can get to it by going to dfimagicthemes.com/support, and all you need to do is change your name servers. It's a site. On the day you do it, let me know. If I see the sites go down, I can go in and very quickly find out why. If you ping me a message on Messenger, I'll send you back. I'll make sure you got the right name servers, and we just want to get you moved over like we've done with everyone else. And
I got all the notifications from my Google console.
I've moved over right over a period of few months, 525 sites.
Oh wow!
And a fair few of them I had to do manually because there was no physical way of getting them off a direct admin. Myself and Greg and one of the devs, we spent the time moving that for free for everybody. And so what I don't want to happen to you is your sites disappear when that service ends, because they don't know it yet, but I'm not renewing with them. It was that bad, that and that company was recommended to me by Daryl, who's in another group. So I'm just disappointed how bad they turned out to be. It was yeah.
I'll start over from scratch if I have to.
So, well, you don't have to. I've got them all backed up. Every site's backed up. All right, and we keep the records. Basically, all the sites have got backed up on a drive that's got a lockdown on it, and it's kept for 12 months. And then if we don't hear from anyone after 12 months, then we delete that data. We don't keep it. It's just gone. But what's important is when you've got a spare moment, message me, all right, and say this is the day I'm picking to go through all my domains and change the name servers up. When I know, I will monitor the sites for you, and any that are down, my team will sort out and make sure they're back up.
Sounds great.
Oh.
I appreciate y'all.
No, that's all right. That's what we do. We look after people. Thank you, Michael, as always, and it's really good to see you, buddy. Don't leave it too long, all right?
Take care, Michael. Talk to you soon, huh?
Thank you. So, just to mention, anybody who's using the Magic Location Builder plugin, I've had a few calls over the past month or so on it. When we set you up, right, your email address is inside of the support desk that you've signed up with, the support desk and hosting, is the email address we will add to Page Generator Pro to become the Magic Location Builder. So when you set your admin control panel up inside of WordPress, make sure you have an admin using that email address, and then the menus will appear. All right. If you have any other logins, it won't. And so we make sure when the request comes in, we use the email address from the same one as you have inside the hosting/support. All right. So just keep that in mind, and it's not a problem. And don't worry, Don, you're not the only one. All right. I've replied back to your ticket, and there's it's a regular thing, and it's not a problem because I just reply back. I go and check it, make sure I haven't made a mistake and it is in the system, and then we reply back and say do that. And that's Magic Location Builder. What you'll find when we revamp the packages finally, we are going to separate the MLB training into its own little segment, and we're going to start using the terminology Page Generator Pro, because what we decided, not for the guys or anyone who's already in, is keeping what we said, but new people coming in, we're gonna recommend buying Page Generator Pro directly from them, and then we show how to set it up. The only reason behind that is because we want to reach out to Tim, who owns it. He's got a nice big email list, and we know a lot of his customers would be interested in having ready-made themes. But to do that, we can't offer it as a bundle. But anyone who's already got it, what the plan will be, and you'll know who you are, when you want the MLB button on a site and you do the install, you just raise a support ticket with the logins. We'll nip in and add it for you with our code, and you get to keep that as promised from day one. All right, so you're not going to lose anything. We just felt
you always have access to it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're probably saving you about $300
because
if you had to buy Page Generator Pro,
it's lifetime. Yeah, and Page Generator Pro is a lifetime deal. That's the thing about it. And we come up with the decision that we get some people come into us and go, well, I don't need Page Generator Pro, I've got MPP. And our themes will still work with MPP without a doubt. But we're not going to set a page up in MPP. We're going to say, set a theme up, copy a page and put it into MPP yourself. But it's good to see you, Michael. Thank you.
Michael.
But we decided that rather than, if we had 100 people come in and I had to add 100 people into the back office of Page Generator Pro, it'd take me forever. And so we decided to separate it, build your site, get it up online with the content on, and then add PGP afterwards. And we'll redo that part of the training to show them how to do it, and then how to copy over the pages, which is great because once you've installed Page Generator Pro, you hit one button up where your pages are to import it, a copy of it into Page Generator Pro. You edit it, change it around, create your pages, you're done. You know, with the old Elementor way of doing it, you had to export the page, re-import it as a template, then pull it back, then create the page and pull it back. It was a nightmare. It was a complete mess. We didn't want that. So that's the direction we're going with that. To answer Bob's question, he sent me a question in the chat. The directory site, I will go to our devs and ask them if there's a quick way of importing. I'll be honest with you, I've been so busy, I haven't had time to play properly with the directory build. I will go to the devs and say, is there an easy way to import, let's say 50 listings? And I will come back to you in your support ticket. And then once I've got the answer, I'll bring it up on next Friday's call. It shouldn't take me too long to get that answer from somebody, or to see if we can have something added to that build to make it easier to import, maybe from Google Sheets or something. So we will definitely look at that as an option, because it's something I wouldn't mind having, to be able to grab a bunch of them and pull them in nice and easily. So leave that with me for a couple of days, Bob. I'm not about this weekend, but I will send a message tomorrow to the dev before I head out. If you're raising support tickets over the weekend, it may be a bit slow getting back to you, because I'm going to be out and about with the family over the weekend. The kids are off, but I will respond to tickets on Monday. If it is an urgent problem where your website is completely down, I give you permission to send me a direct message on Messenger with a ticket number that you've raised in the support desk, and but 911 after it, which tells me your site's down. And what I'll be able to do is message my support team on hosting and go, this site is a major problem. It needs to be looked at. There shouldn't be any major problems because hosting's been solid. But if something like that happens, let us know, and we're happy to sort it. I have them in a CSV text file. This question is in support now. I did see your support ticket, Bob, so don't worry. Leave that with me, and I will get an answer for you. If you don't mind, Bob, could you attach that CSV to inside the ticket? I'm not going to share it with the devs. I just want to see how it's laid out, and then I'll create one without the content in, and see if they can import one that I've created. So. But that'd be great, and it would be a nice feature to have to be able to pull them in. Absolutely. So that's awesome. Is there anything else anyone wants to share? Raise your virtual hand, or if there are any questions you guys have got. I hope, just out of interest, the information we've shared tonight, but one in the chat if you found it's helpful for what you're doing in your business. It's always nice to get a bit of feedback from people. And I know Don's going to put 1.5 because he's awesome. I love it.
Or 1.825.
1.65. He had to prove me wrong, didn't he?
Of course.
And I've got, by the way, keep an eye on our groups. We got, as you know, we got the Rank and Rent Masters group, we got the DFY Rank and Rent group, and we got the Inner Circle group. Over the coming weeks, you're going to start seeing posts rolling in there regularly, and I'm playing around with something that in a few weeks' time, I'm going to share with people how to automate your Facebook posts and stuff like that.
Maybe.
Right. So, so I am doing testing. And so you're going to see messages pop up, some with links, some without. I'm doing all sort of testing with it. Even when my partner's watching her crime scene TV that I'm not interested in, I'm on my laptop coming up with new ideas. And so
it's not a good thing when your spouse or partner starts watching how to kill people.
Do you know what? We've been together 16 years, right? And she said, I said to the other day, I said, we're doing all right. She said, yeah. She said, I've had 16 years to think of ways to get rid of you.
It's
but no, she's brilliant. I think she's waiting for the kids to be old enough to move out, and then. So I'm okay. Because the youngest is 9 years old, Ollie. So and boys stay at home a lot longer. So I've got until he's 25 at least, I reckon.
I don't think they leave.
Don't you? Well, yours come back, didn't they? So you know, so like on a fishing rod. I still have a few good years left, long enough to help you guys get to where you need to be in your business, and that's what we want to do. So we appreciate every single one of you. You guys are awesome, and every week you support us. We'll always come and do stuff. We'll always come and share things that we're aware of. If there's ever something you want a subject bringing up, put it inside the Inner Circle group and tag us in it. Because it's something that if I don't know, or Robert doesn't know we got people who will back us, who we can go and ask. Like my friend.
And if you want to say something nice about all the things that are going on, then you put that in the free group. Just that's what the two differences are.
Hmm.
Inner circle is for us to communicate as a community, the wins, the how to do things, what doesn't work, what works. But the free group is about the things that are going on because we're all part of this community, and these people need to know there's an opportunity. And if they don't hear from anybody, like, you know, I am touched by Michael Sexton, who God, you know, I'm thinking how long ago that was. It had to be close to 2 years ago that he
was with us
me.
from the beginning, wasn't he?
He was original founder, and he messaged me looking for help with MVP,
like you did with me.
almost identical.
Yeah,
and he was so frustrated because he just couldn't get the short codes and how they worked and why they worked, and I felt for him, and he says, you know, as soon as we told him that we had these products coming out with content and everything was done, he bought it immediately.
I think he bought him before we were even ready.
You know, he might have been the first sale, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a really good thing for everybody to see. If you don't know who he is, what he did, it doesn't matter. But you see him come back 2 years later and say, "This helped me," and I know it did, but I also know he worked hard because he was he was doing stuff that we told him don't do before, and he would just do it anyways, and we'd have to go back and undo to make it work because he didn't understand. But you know, it's failing forward. It's taking action. It's making that progress going forward to get to where you want to be. And he had a timeline and he had a deadline. And because he has a seasonal business, he does bee removal. So he goes to people's homes and takes these swarming bees out of their yards, out of their attics, out of their walls. It's crazy. He's one of those natural beekeepers that keep the bees alive, takes the hives alive to put them and relocate them somewhere else. He's not an exterminator. He's a live beekeeper. He vacuums them up. But but
you know, something else with him, he's been that busy that he's actually moved into pest control now. And the reason he's moved into that is because that's not so much seasonal. So he's doing other areas, and he's built off the back of the bee business, you know. And I remember after his first season, and he just turned around and said, "You guys rock." And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I was lost. I was trying to make this work and I couldn't. You guys come on the scene, and I've got it working. Not only that, it saved my business." That's his direct message to me back then. It saved my business, you know, and that's why we say to all of you guys, you just need to focus. Barry focuses on what he's doing. That's why he's doing well. Laurie's focusing, you know, and any of you that aren't, make a list of the things you need to do next week and get them done. Go bam, 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 bam. I've got it done. That's the key. We give time to people who take the time to take action.
No, we give time to everybody.
Well, what I mean by that, Robert, is we had somebody who came on board who isn't with us anymore, who wouldn't take action, and I gave a lot of time to him, and in the end, I just said, "Look, until you do this, I can't help you anymore," and then he just disappeared, no more. I don't know what he's doing now, what he's gone off to do instead. But if you just focus and that's that simple step, build a site, get it up online on a domain name, add some company data. If you don't want to be doing Twilio, find a company that hasn't got a website, put their data on it for now. Just while you play around and get it up in the rankings, and then when you're happy, change the data on it. That's not good, you know, changing the company name on it and also the sort of the logo and the phone number ain't going to do any harm because the content's there. Businesses change their phone numbers all the time and their names, so it doesn't matter. But it's just a case of getting that site where you need it, because if it's where you want it and more calls are flowing into them, at least then you can phone them up and offer them the site. When you get that first sale, whether it's $99 or $500 a month, that's when you feel good, And we've always said 10 sites at $99 is $1,000 in your pocket, $1,000 that you probably haven't got now. So it's just taking that action. That's all we say. And we think you guys are awesome, and thank you for supporting us every step of the way. Anything else you want to add, Robert?
The whole goal has been, and still is, that it's just come to light more so than ever, because now we have the themes. Now we know that the builds are there. They're not hard. They're not complicated. And the training is there to fill in the things that you need to do, the citations, the social media. We have all of that set up. We have people that you can use, right? So it's a matter of just having yourself organized, yourself on a timeline to do this. And once you have that set in place, just work the plan, rinse and repeat, work the plan, rinse and repeat. And our focus is to make sure that you have all the tools that put the rest of it in place. Now you got the site, now you got your social media, now you got your citations. Now you're going to have your video ranker process. You're going to have the call center for the phone numbers. You have everything in place to make this simplified. And when we're not done, that's the transparency truth. We're not done with everything we want you to have. That's why we're building the extra things we want you to have, which is the Magic Ranker second version, to make sure that it's bigger and better and easier. It's got to be easy. It's got to be implementable and quick. And once these are all in place, it's just spend your time building and onboarding. Maybe that's our new phrase: build on board, build on board.
And we are working on. I'll let you guys, since this is a little inside secret. We are working on another plugin that will find prospects for you. You'll type in a keyword and it'll give you your prospects. That's how exciting this is becoming. So it's all going in the right direction. And before I say anything else, give anything else away, and Robert tells me off, we're going to wish you all well. And we hope you guys are going to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And thank you so much for supporting us as always. I'm going to play the jingle, and we will see you the same time, same place next week. You can get hold of us via dfimagicthemes.com/support, and we'll see you all very soon.
Thank you all. Have a good weekend.